So whilst I'm here, I'm going to demonstrate the brow powders for you today. A lot of people like me either fair or actually over plucked, or just naturally have very thin eyebrows as well. I generally tend to tint my eyebrows for a quick sort of makeup free maintenance, easy go. And I know a lot of people have been considering more micro sort of blading and semi-permanent tattooing and things as well, so you've got that quick everyday go, but it's still quite a procedure to have done. Those of us that are a little bit more on the cautious side, or want to be able to have the option of having full looking brows, soft looking brows, then makeups and stuff are the way forward, of course. But a lot of people get a little bit scared about doing things freehand as well. So these makeup kits, I picked these up at a trade show a couple of years ago, and I bought one for myself as a tester, and I've actually still got some of mine. So it will last you, but it comes as a really sort of cool foolproof thing as a pack. So again, good as a sort of starter kit or as a gift or something as well. And inside you're getting a few little goodies. So you get an application brush, which has actually got like a slanted end and a sort of puffy end for blending. Pair of tweezers, which actually are really good, and then on the other end of the tweezers you've got one of these little brushes. And then you also get a whole selection of stencils. So they come in this little pack, which might make people laugh if they're quite good at doing things, but people that aren't very good and just don't have the confidence, I've got another little brush in there, look, the stencils are amazing, because obviously they need to include lots of different types of shapes. So if you can see this, like, I'll hold this down there, I think you've got different shapes of brows, and you see how this is like a curved, sort of more of a bolder shape to it, and then you've got more of a straighter shape there on a bold shape, and then you've also got thinner shapes as well for those thinner, softer looking brows as well. So I'll demonstrate one of my eyebrows for you as a stencil, and then I'll demonstrate one for you as a freehand, just so you can see how quick and easy and foolproof it can be, but also making it fun and getting you learning and practicing, because that's the whole nice art of makeup, is that it's there for you to keep practicing to get better as well. So the kit actually comes with like a highlighter. So you've got two colours in there. You've got a highlighter and a base. Highlighters are a bit shimmery, so they can actually come underneath a brow and actually highlight underneath that section there, and so it gives it a bit more of a lift and a pop to the eyebrow. And the base you can actually use over the whole of the eyelid as well. No reason why you couldn't use the highlighter as a bit of a shadow, but yeah, you can play around with those. There's no real hard set rule. And then the brow powders actually come in like a light, a medium, then I've also got like a dark brown, light brown, then I go into blacks and even slates, and the blacks and the slates are really good actually for doing like smoky eye effects. So I've worked with that quite a bit. Right, so let me just pop this down, and I'll do this a little bit darker than I usually would for day makeup, just for the visual of you on there. So I only need about 3 really gentle swipes on top of that, okay, because you don't want to overload the brush. And I'll do it on this side just to make this one easier for me. So you need to line your stencil up, making sure that when you start, wherever you start, you want to be in about the same sort of length as your nostril as well, because you don't want to go anything too far past here, it makes your eyes look too wide, and anything too close in make you look like your eyes are too close together. So sort of stay in that line, and then your arch should be centre of your eye, and then the end should be towards the end of where your nose at that angle of your eye should be. So you can see my ends are quite short as well for a lot of over plucking, over waxing. So we put that stencil on there. Now I might have to actually adjust my setting slightly. Okay, so we've got that stencil on. Then all you need to do is get that angle of the brush with the angle of your brow, so this way round, and then we're going to dust all the way through this. And the nice thing about the stencils is you actually get a really nice neat end of it as well. Now my eyebrows are going to look hilariously dark for you, but can you see how much more of an effect that gives you? Now I can tailor that off, I can soften that there, I can use this end of the brush and do that, and then I've got a nice perfectly shaped brow there as well. And then if you're practicing and wanting to do practicing of freehand, which sometimes actually gives you more of a a softer look. This will give you a very sort of crisp, sharp, clear, so amazing for the real fancies and the goings out and the real sort of dramatic day looks, nighttime looks, or even long days that you need. But for freehand, I tend to follow again the same sort of similar guide of where that would go. And then this one's coming down. And then at least with freehand, you know you can keep going back, adding more where you need it to. And so can you see that massive difference? And that having actual brows, not so light. So my hair's darkening up through the winter a little bit as well. But it gives you a lot more of a face as a feature than looking so sort of washed out and pale and dull. So actually you're framing your eyes to give them a lift. And you're actually giving a little bit more depth to the makeup as well. But I mean, how simple are they? And those are £30 for a set. And then you can actually just refill these little pockets as well. And so it's foolproof. Very easy. Maybe comment, let me know whether you prefer the stencil or whether you just prefer a bit of freehand.